Oh, really? I really wasn't expecting that. That's a shitty way to end the battle. What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Burke, aka Danzo8 here, and welcome back to another session of Final Fantasy X, the Pbirdman mod. Now, the game clock has skipped forward another, I think, 7 hours or so since I last recorded, and basically during that time I've been putting in some work to try and do a few things. So let me walk you through what I've been up to for the last 7 hours. It's not too complicated, it's just been a bit repetitive, but as I mentioned countless times, farming is just, it's part of the game. It's what you have to do when you get to like a very high level of combat, when you need like the best equipment and you need the highest stats and all of that kind of stuff. It's just part of the mod once you get to this stage. So let's have a look. The major target was to get myself 99 of these. So I had 16 from all the battles that I'd done so far, but of course that's not really enough to do anything. And I needed some more ribbon armors. I'm at the stage where I need to really start making some alternate armors for this game. And of course you need 99 dark matters to get a ribbon. So the way I did that was, as I showed in the live stream, I think it was near the end of the live stream session, you can fight the brothers in arms repeatedly, and they drop anywhere from about 4 to 12. I think I saw a maximum of 12. I think I averaged about 8 dark matters per battle against them. 8 to 10 I would say. That many dark matters per battle, and once again, if you play like sped up, double speed, 2.5 times speed, something like that, it took me maybe like 45 minutes or so to get 99 dark matters. It wasn't too bad, so it's definitely easier than it was in vanilla, I would say. So it's not the end of the world. You can definitely get it done, and if you're able to push your emulator to like ×3 speed, maybe ×4 speed, something like that, it will be even quicker. So hopefully that shouldn't be too bad, because at this stage, of course, we have the celestial weapons and we have these sort of stats. So yes, I've given a little bit of a spoiler about the other stuff that I did. So port of call number 1 was to get 99 ribbons, and once I did that, I decided to put some time in to get Auron and Yuna up to speed, because I figured at this stage surely I might need to switch these people around. Having like a few extra party members that have max stats that can come in, maybe like give them some buffs and then leave them on the sideline for them to come in at like a clutch moment. I thought that might be the sort of thing that could be necessary. So I didn't just want to go in with Tidus, Rikku, Wakka and Lulu and everybody else basically not ready. So poor Kimahri's still kind of been left behind. He's the one that I haven't focused on at all at this point. But for the rest of them, I can pretty much swap and change them interchangeably, because they all have max stats, and no one's going to be a liability stat-wise on the front line. So that's basically, those two things are what took up most of my time. Now, in trying to get those dark matters, of course, one nice bonus of defeating the Ironclads is that they give you HP spheres. So I picked up an extra 36 HP spheres, so that gives me maybe just over 10,000 HP that I can add to a character that already has break HP limit, and that's actually going to be pretty valuable. So if you guys haven't watched the live stream session that I did where I got all the celestial weapons, it might be worth checking that one out. It was really entertaining. Thank you once again to everyone that joined in for that one. It was really good fun, and I managed to get all of the celestial weapons. I did all of the sigil stuff except for Wakka's one, which I didn't want to blitz like for 5 hours or whatever I needed to get it. But we had a good time, and I showed you guys Nemesis, and it definitely seemed to me like Nemesis was going to need break HP limit. That's something that Pbirdman himself also confirmed. He said, like, in my opinion, like the way I designed it with break HP limit in mind. So if you can go in and defeat it with absolutely no break HP limit, then you are a badass, you know, because this is obviously a challenge in and of itself. And if you can kind of give yourself something like that as an extra restriction and still come through in a battle like that, then I can only take my hat off to you. But for the rest of us mere mortals, you are going to want to break the HP limit, I think, if you want a reasonable shot of being able to defeat Nemesis and Omega Weapon. So, let's take a look at the situation. The next thing I need to show you is that, again, at the end of that live stream session, I showed you guys what Pbirdman had done with the Celestial Weapons. and that's another reason why it's worth checking out that particular stream. But in case you didn't catch it, there are a few changes. So we had a look live and we discussed it. I saw it for the first time as well, and we had a little talk about what's in there and what we liked, what we didn't like. And Pbirdman, of course, had a look at that particular part of the stream as well. And we continued to chat about things. I threw out a few ideas, he threw out some of his own. And ultimately, we went mostly with Pbirdman's suggestions that I pretty much agreed to. So this one, I would say, was like more Pbirdman influence than mine. But here is the final state of the Celestial Weapons. So we begin with Auron's one, which is unchanged from what you guys would have seen in the stream. But in case you didn't watch it, he of course has fairly similar stuff to what he had initially, but defense plus 20 is the interesting one. So Pbirdman of course wanted to nerf the Celestial Weapons a little bit compared to what they had before, but he wanted to also make them a little bit unique and specific to each character, like more so than maybe they were previously. And of course, because Auron's always been a tanky sort of character, he decided to put something like defense plus 20%. So that might strike you as a little bit of a kind of a wasted slot, like it doesn't seem that valuable. But anyone who's, let's say, fought Penance in vanilla will know how valuable something like defense plus 20 can be, because there might be certain attacks that, with the defense plus 20, which is a bonus that you cannot get, of course, in battle any other way, he might be able to survive something that everybody else can't. So for that reason, I think defense plus 20 is something that suits Auron, and I think it's a pretty decent effect to add on to his particular Celestial Weapon. Another thing worth noting here is something a bit more technical, but it should be pretty intuitive. Every weapon in the game has like a power level or like a damage constant sort of level, and basically the standard is 16 for everybody. So what that means is if you have, let's say, 255 strength for, let's say, Lulu and Auron, if they both have maximum HP, they should do exactly the same amount of damage, because that's just how the formula works. But what he's done for the Celestial Weapons in this particular case, again, he's made them a little bit more individual to each character. So what that means is that Auron's weapon is the only one that has the 16 attack power. Again, that makes sense to me because Auron is obviously supposed to be the hardest physical hitter. He's got the massive sword. You know, he's a legendary guardian. He's a very powerful, like physically powerful character. That's what he's kind of more designed to do. And so him having the 16 makes a lot more sense to me. So he is the most powerful character physically. Now, will it make an enormous difference in battle? I don't think it will. But it is something that you'll probably notice if you're looking at the numbers and the damage output as we continue on. So Auron, that is his Celestial Weapon. Next we have an interesting one here. The main change that you would have seen is that previously he had Alchemy, and Pbirdman decided that that might be a little bit broken, and he wanted to switch Alchemy to somebody else for which it's a bit more intuitive, and I'm sure you can probably guess who that already is. But that left him with an empty slot, and he was like, what should I use? And honestly, like, again, this was Pbirdman's suggestion. I was trying to think what else could it be. I mean, I thought maybe, again, you could have like half MP cost kind of stuff, but honestly, like, there weren't too many things. It's hard to find something that's not broken and that's not like also completely useless. So I suggested Death Proof because Ribbon doesn't protect against death, and there's certain attacks where it doesn't matter how strong you are, of course, if it has a death percentage and you don't have Death Proof, and most ultimate armors will not have Death Proof, it's just going to take you out. So I figured one character having a Death Proof no matter what could be pretty interesting. So that was my suggestion. But Pbirdman had other ideas, and he said that Curse Proof might be an interesting one. And ultimately I like this idea because death as a status, I think it adds a little bit of unpredictability to proceedings, and if you have a character that has Ribbon and Death Proof, that might be a little bit too OP. And Curse Proof is cool because there's a lot of attacks that are going to cause curse, lots of like Mega Graviton type moves, and you know, those kind of things that are going to really stop that overdrive gauge from pumping and from you being able to use your overdrives. So at least having one character who is curse proof I think is quite interesting, because in like a clutch moment Tidus could get a full overdrive and he could maybe use it, or he could entrust it to Rikku or somebody else and that kind of thing. So that's why Tidus has curse proof instead of the alchemy that you would have seen in the stream. And for me, again, I'm personally quite happy with this. I think it's a cool weapon, it's unique, and I think it fits the Pbirdman mod pretty nicely. In terms of power level, this one's power level 14 compared to Auron's 16, so he does about, I think, 12.5% less damage. Don't quote me on that number, but it's going to be in that kind of region. I think somewhere like 8 to 12% less damage than Auron does if you hold all other factors constant. Okay, this is interesting. You're going to look at this and you're going to say, what the hell? Like, Kimahri is already not the most favorite character and you gave him piercing? Like, really? Well, this is another technical reason why Pbirdman believes piercing to be a good move. Again, this wasn't my suggestion, but when Pbirdman explained his rationale for it, I thought, yeah, okay, that could work. Piercing is interesting because there's certain enemies that have a status called armored, and you'll be able to tell if an enemy's armored because it makes like a bit of a different sound when you hit them. Now, we all know that celestial weapons ignore defense, and that's why they're so powerful compared to a regular weapon for physical attacks. But if it's an armored enemy, your celestial weapons don't make a difference. They will do, I think, 1/3 of the damage that they normally do if an enemy is in armored status. And the only way to do maximum damage against those enemies is to have the piercing ability. So this gives Kimahri a bit of a unique way to do damage where no other character can. So potentially we might encounter a Dark Aeon or something that has this armored status and is very strong against magic, and we're looking for ways to do more damage, and that would mean that a max stat Kimahri would be able to outdamage everybody else in this particular mod. So that's why he has piercing, and to me it seems like that could be pretty interesting. So I like it, and that is the deal with Kimahri. Now, I think to compensate for that, he's lowered his attack power to 8. We'll have to see how that manifests in battle. I'm pretty certain that against an armored enemy, even though the attack power is 8 for this weapon, it's still going to outdamage everybody else, but we will have to see if we can see it in practice. I might just hack in Kimahri's stats just to... I'm kind of a bit bored of stat maxing at this point. I might hack it in for Kimahri just so I can show him off in certain battles and we can see him in action. But we'll just see how that goes. But that's his celestial weapon. This one was another slightly controversial one. For Rikku, I think this weapon fits her perfectly in terms of the abilities that it has. I mean, come on, Rikku is like a thief / item specialist. And so having Gabriel R, Master Thief and Alchemy, I think is a perfect combination for her. Now, a few notes here. She doesn't have an overdrive boost, and I think again that's wise because Rikku's overdrives are so powerful that being able to gain them at a slower rate than everyone else kind of balances that out a little bit more. Of course we have Entrust and all that kind of stuff, but Rikku gaining overdrive more slowly I think helps to compensate for just how powerful it is, so that to me makes sense. I think the reason people are not going to like this is because they're going to want a weapon that's like more powerful, you know, to give me like, I don't know, triple overdrive and half MP cost or something like that. But honestly, I think this one, like for the contextual ability, I think it just works really well. And you've seen so far that Alchemy is a super valuable ability because healing waters don't do maximum healing. And you'll see, like especially once you start to break the HP limit, because we don't have trio of quad 9 anymore like we did in vanilla. Healing everyone for quad 9 HP is actually nowhere near as easy as it was in vanilla. So having a character with Alchemy that can recover anyone who doesn't have break HP limit with maximum HP, and also who can heal everyone with healing waters for maximum HP, they're going to become very valuable in terms of their support as well. So Alchemy is huge, and that's, to me, that's a no-brainer. And at this stage, Gabriel R, I guess, is cool if you just need some more Gil, of course, but that's the only ability I'd say is like, okay, that's kind of pants. But like I say, because of the contextual like reason for it being there, I can go with that. And Rikku in general is such a powerful character that her weapon being a little bit less attackingly powerful compared to the others, I think does make sense. And we also have Master Thief, and you'll see why Master Thief is going to be particularly useful in another few minutes. So just bear with me. In terms of attack power, I believe this one's a 14 as well. It's not as powerful as Auron, but it's still pretty powerful. She can get some damage done. Okay, next up we have Wakka, who is an absolute damage powerhouse, but he has the very interesting Auto Phoenix ability. So I did mention that he put a few kind of armor abilities on the weapons to make them a little bit more interesting, and he is the only one that has an ability like Auto Phoenix on his armor. Now, this is pretty fantastic because of course that frees up an extra slot on what would be his ultimate armor, and so you can have like the sort of the holy grail armor of having break HP limit, auto haste, ribbon, maybe auto regen or auto potion or auto protect, kind of pick which one you like, but basically have 5 armor slots with auto Phoenix as well, which is pretty epic. So for that reason, I think Wakka's Celestial Weapon is probably, like, objectively the best one. It's pretty amazing. So that's great. Of course, that renders this one a little bit more obsolete because we've got 2 auto Phoenixes now, which is a little bit strange. But I'm going to come to that again in a minute. But this particular Celestial Weapon, I think, is awesome. Again, he hits for 14. His attack power is 14, so he's a little bit weaker than Auron as well, but plenty powerful. And of course, since attack reels has been nerfed compared to vanilla, he's not going to be able to do, like, you know, 1.2 million damage to Nemesis every time or anything like that. So he's still very much going to be probably the main attacking powerhouse, but not as broken as he was in vanilla. Okay, so, whoops. This is Mailouuuz one. So Mailouuuz was another of the Celestial Weapons that we didn't really like in stream. We figured that there should be some tweaks made to it, and that's exactly what Pbirdman has done. And now I think we are at where we need to be. So this is pretty obvious to me. I mean, she's obviously, you know, a badass mage. Magic boost is a no-brainer. Break MP limit, again, is an armor ability, but I think it's a really, really correct move here. I think to free her up, to give her as much MP as she wants, is really useful. And the fact that we don't have to waste it on an armor slot, because we really, really need these slots. We're coming up against such difficult enemies that having to waste a slot on break MP limit for Lulu would have been really annoying. So this armor is not really needed anymore. And of course, half MP cost to counteract the double sort of MP cost of using magic boosters. So this weapon, I think, is a smart one. It's much better than what we had in the stream, and I think it should be absolutely fine. One note here, well, actually 2 notes. First of all, the attack power, I believe, is either 12 or 11. I'll put an annotation in, I don't remember the exact number. So it will do noticeably less damage than Auron's weapon, for example. Not like to the extent where you can't really use it, but it will do less damage because Lulu is such a heavily magic focused character, which again to me makes perfect sense. Final note is that at the moment, break MP limit has a 2000 MP cap. So that's how he's done it right now. He doesn't want people to just have like 5000 MP or whatever. I'm thinking 2000 should be enough. I mean, for battles where you're going to run out with even 2000, you're going to have like mega elixirs and that kind of thing anyway. So I don't think it's going to be like a hugely relevant cap. But just so that you know, at the moment there is a 2000 MP cap. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely going to get some more MP before I take on the Dark Aeons. And finally, we have Yuna, who is not quite as magically focused as Lulu because she doesn't have magic booster and she doesn't have break MP limit, but she has the magic defense. She has a +20, which is going to make her a lot more resilient against, obviously, like really powerful magic attacks like Ultima and that kind of thing. Half MP cost I think is good, because if you do want to go with a break MP limit for her, then of course when you combine that with the fact that she doesn't have magic booster anyway, she's going to be a really efficient magic caster, because yes, she doesn't have the heightened, I think it's +50% with magic booster, but she does have a +20%, and she has the half MP cost. And she has the half MP cost. So I think in terms of, you know, damage per MP point, she's actually more powerful than Lulu in that sense, and she has the added bonus of the magic defense +20. But obviously her weakness is that she doesn't have the break MP limit, so if you want that for Yuna, you're going to have to use up one of your slots for that. Again, in terms of attack power, she's either 11 or 12, so she will also be doing noticeably less damage than the likes of Tidus, Wakka, Rikku, and most notably Auron. So there we have it, guys. Those are the Celestial Weapons. This is like the final version. I don't have any issues with these at this stage, especially once I see them in practice. I think it pretty much should be fine. We discussed it at length with Pbirdman, and we'd gotten feedback on his sort of Mark 1 decisions in the live stream. Of course, you know, there's always going to be some people that don't like whatever slots that he's put in here, but I think for the majority of people, I think they're going to be okay with this. And well, if you're not, unfortunately, can't please everybody, but I am ready to rock with these particular weapons. Now, that's the weapon sorted, but what the hell are we going to do about these armors? Now, I'm in a bit of a tough situation because I've got this, and normally if you add auto-haste to this, this is like a pretty decent, pretty perfect armor, I would say. For vanilla, this would be absolutely brilliant. Now, for this one, because we know that at least for Nemesis, we need to break the HP limit most likely. If I add break HP limit to this, I can't have auto-haste, so it's just... the slots are kind of messed up now for this one, and I really don't want to throw away the ribbon. So, making like a new ultimate armor for Tidus at this point, it feels like a waste of the resources. So, I've got this, and I'm considering just adding auto-haste to this for now to see if I can manage, and that way I can use my 99 ribbons on someone else. So that's what I'm going to go for now for Tidus. That's the first sort of thing I'll try. Now I'm thinking, because he's already got the Auto Phoenix, I think I'm going to make an ultimate armor for Wakka using my ribbons at this stage. So I'm thinking I'm going to put Auto Haste, I'm going to put Ribbon, I'm going to put Break HP Limit, and I'm not sure about Auto Regen. I'll have to decide, because I believe Auto Regen works really well if you have like absolute maximum HP, so you're up at like 99,000 HP. But if you're at like 20, 30, 40,000, I'm not sure it works so well. So I'll have to decide what to do for that one. And for Rikku, ideally you'd want a ribbon. I need to make a perfect armor for her too. But at this stage, because I've already spent so much time, I want to see if, you know, I'm going to be able to get through with the equipment that I have. And if I don't, then I'll have to take another break and get another break HP limit and ribbon for Rikku as well. So you might be thinking, well, you're talking about auto-haste, but how the hell do you get auto-haste? Now, one thing that I wasn't sure about was, do you get auto-haste when you unlock Nemesis or after you beat it? And the answer is actually when you unlock Nemesis. So when I saw the Celestial Mirror pop, I was like, sorry, the Cloudy Mirror pop, I was like, oh damn, that means the auto-haste is going to be after I beat Nemesis. Turns out that it's actually a rare steal from Nemesis, so I will further explain once we get in. For now, let's have... let's get rid of Auto Potion at the moment. We're not going to try and actually do battle here, so it's just... yeah, this is fine. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If you guys didn't watch the live stream, you won't actually know what we're facing here, so let's have a look. Yes, indeed. So not only do we have Nemesis, we have Omega Weapon making an appearance as well. So this is just an absolute madness. But we're not going to fight just yet. What I'm going to do is basically, you have a 20% chance of making a steal from Nemesis. And if you get a rare steal, which is a further 1 in 4, which is basically an overall odds of 5%, there is a 5% chance that you steal a couple of Warp Spheres. This is where Rikku's Master Thief comes in so handy. Now, because she does have Master Thief, she will always get that steal. That rare steal, sorry. So, you have a 1 in 5 chance of getting Warp Spheres from Nemesis as a steal. So let's have a look. There you go. So I'm going to try and see if I can get a second steal, see if I get lucky. But there's a 20% base chance of stealing. There you go, there's 3. Rip. Might be able to charge up some overdrives while I'm here, actually. Ah. Got an ultimate counter too. That's great. What could we steal from Omega? Okay, having a plentiful supply of Gambler Spirits is excellent too. But yeah, I think I'm done with being able to steal here. 3's a good haul already. But I think I need more than 3 for what I want to do. You can see lots of big boy moves here. We're lucky that Ultra Spark hasn't been used yet, otherwise it would have been game over. But I've seen enough. That is enough. So, warp spheres in this game are how you get auto-haste. So Pbirdman has made a lot of effort to try and make auto-haste an absolutely end game kind of thing. You guys all know from the vanilla how broken auto-haste is. It really flips the difficulty switch in your favor. So he wanted to make sure you really got towards the end and you were up against the hardest and you know, most difficult to beat bosses in the game before you had any access to auto-haste. So we finally get our hands on that epic auto-haste. So what I'll do is I'll throw in a save here before I start customizing, because I might not be happy with what I've customized here. At this stage I'm making it up as I go along as well, because it's the Pbirdman mod. There's no guides to go off. I am the guide. I can only ask Pbirdman for advice and just use my general knowledge and experience to try and figure out what's going to work best. So I think I need 2 auto haste for Tidus alone anyway. So where is it? Oh, finally, auto haste. Look at that. So there's 1. I'll need it for the sanctuary as well. There we go. That's a 2. And we need to start getting to work on Wakka's 1 too. Thankfully we had a nice Tetra guard be dropped earlier in my playthrough. Auto haste. He gets the ribbon. I will get to this in a second. Okay, so now I can steal some more warp spheres. But you saw that Master Thief coming in handy there. Preemptive, nice. Oh, come on, that was a really quick counter. So there must be some like base percentage chance of it countering, like 50% or 20% or whatever. Let's get some more Gambler Spirits if we can. There you go. I'm gonna need those mixes. Fist of Nine is a mean old attack. Okay, there's 1. At least Gambler Spirits are really easy to get back. That I'm really happy about that, because at this stage of the game you're going to be using that a lot more. Oof. Some brutal hits. But we're on our way. I think once we make all of our preparations, we should at least be able to hang with these guys for long enough to have considered ourselves as having an attempt. So just a little bit more work to do. I will start to speed up stuff. There is one more bit of farming that I need to do outside of the warp spheres. But let me just sort this out first. I mean, it's looking pretty certain I'm going to be 200 hours plus by the time I get, before I'm ready for the Dark Aeons. Because of course we have to work on things like luck, but I'm not going to get into that in this particular session. Let's try and defeat these guys first. I mean, we got like 12 million HP's worth of health to take out here. Okay, so over the next 3 battles I only managed 1 warp sphere, so I got very lucky with the first one to steal 3 so quickly. But I need an auto haste for Rikku as well. I mean, I guess I can add it to this. I don't really have anything that's perfect at this stage. Just thinking, I have 2 auto phoenixes already. Could I just have this instead? Let's just go with this. I do want to have a proper attempt at Nemesis in this session, so we'll go for this. Okay. So, got that, we got that, and what we need is break HP limit. So at this stage, for break HP limit, you need... Where are they? Yeah. So in this particular patch that I have, you need 30 wings to discovery. And basically what Pbirdman has done is that he's modded Shinryu to give you 6 wings to discovery when you win, if you overkill it. So that's not too bad. That means 5 battles, but I said to him, maybe just make it a bit easier. I mean, at this stage, we still have a lot of farming to do for things like ribbon, so maybe break HP limit at this very, very late stage shouldn't take that long. And he said, okay, fine, let me make it 20. So basically, I got 2 right now because I beat Shinryu the first time before that particular patch came out. But normally, with 4 victories against Shinryu, you'll be able to get wings to discovery. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put it on 2.5 times speed, so you can see just how quickly you can defeat Shinryu now. And we'll get to it. So this is how quickly you can farm for break HP limit, potentially. It's going to sound a bit funny, I apologise for that, but... Once you get to 2.5 times speed, the menu sounds start sounding a bit silly. I'd rather just go with this, I think. Okay, let's just go. One thing I was thinking was that in this particular... Oh shit. By the way, 3 auto-haste, look at the CTB. Look how much things have changed already. I'm thinking at this stage using overdrives is probably going to be slower. Because even if you do like 200,000 damage with an overdrive, if you factor in the animation time, DPS wise it's quicker to just hit. So I'm just going to quick hit until my MP finishes here. But you can see, because it has slightly lower defense, even though my HP has gone down a fair bit already, I'm still doing max damage. Now, of course, the speed at which you can farm this guy depends on Eraser. That's another reason I asked if Pbirdman would consider bringing it down from 30. Because we don't have the attack reels cheese, we definitely can't beat it as quickly as we could in vanilla, regardless of everything we have right now. So, okay, we're out of quick hit. But just imagine that in the public release you'll have to do this basically 4 times to be able to get break HP limit for someone. Go. Yeah, that was not ideal. I forgot that Wakka didn't have alchemy. I'm so used to it. Oh god, I died. This is what I mean. Wakka not having alchemy there killed us actually. God damn it. It does depend on your luck with Eraser, and that was my mistake with Wakka. I didn't heal at the right time. I should have dispelled, because Shiny can give you mental break. But now that I've learned from my mistake, hopefully I should be okay. As long as I don't get 2 Razors in a row or something. I'm pretty sure I wasn't even that far from winning. Oh god. If there is going to be multiple Erasers, having Tidus be the last one alive is still better, I think. Because he can keep quick hitting at least. There you go, that's better. But you're seeing that auto-haste plus quick hit that we know and love from vanilla. It looks so much more like vanilla now, doesn't it? this time I'll be fine. Yeah, Rikku got mental broken right at the end there, but not anymore. But again, no alchemy, so she only comes back with 5,000. It's amazing what a difference it makes. I think I'll be fine. Oh god. Okay. There shouldn't be much to go to take this thing out, hopefully. I'm going to try Kuraga. Thank God for having lots of MP. There you go. Okay, so it especially at 2.5 times speed, it didn't take long at all, and you get yourself 6 Wings of Discovery. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get a break HP limit for Wakka. So I'll rejoin you guys once I'm done with that. It shouldn't take too long, as you've seen. Unfortunately, my patch is 30, so it's going to take me a little bit longer, but it's okay. For me, I'm just so used to farming that, like, instead of stopping everything right now, stopping recording, shutting the game down, exporting the save, editing the save to put the right number of Wings of Discovery in, and then putting it back in and all that kind of stuff, I'd rather just spend 10 minutes just mindlessly farming. Also, one thing I forgot was I didn't give Wakka his auto-haste armor, so now that he has his auto-haste as well, look at the turns. So it should be even quicker now, and even less chance of getting screwed over by Eraser or the mental break of Shining. Yeah, so with Wakka in there as well, it literally took me, I think I only got 2 turns in. That's the difference it makes. So yeah, with all 3 of them in auto haste, it's light work. Amazing what a difference it makes, right? I mean, the first battle I had over 200 stats, but I didn't have auto haste, I didn't have my celestial weapons and all that kind of stuff, and the battle took like 20-25 minutes. I think because the battle's so fast, it doesn't have. I remember it switching into that phase where we couldn't hit it anymore, but I think when the battle plays out this quickly, that just becomes a non-factor. Okay, it took me a little while, longer than I would have liked, but I did get there, and now I am able to do this. Break that HP limit. Now, this is 15 MP, by the way. I'm wondering if it's like, if break MP limit is even a better idea. I don't know. Just trying to think. Like, is auto protect a good shout here? Maybe these are? Yeah, perhaps one of these two could be good. It's a shame you can't put alchemy on on an armor. Curse proof. I mean, I guess death proof could go on there. That's possible. I mean, ribbon plus death proof is a really powerful combination if you can get it. So break MP limit, death proof, or auto protect. I'll have to decide which one I like the best out of those. Now, the only thing left to do at this stage before I give Nemesis a go is to spend the 36 HP spheres that I have. So, Titus and Wakka are basically together anyway on the grid, right? Okay. So yeah, I'm going to have to take a little bit of time here to start laying down some HP spheres and using them. So I should have just over 30,000 HP once I'm done. So again, I'll skip ahead to when I'm done with this. I guess I can use the MP spheres as well while I'm at it, actually. since we do have some characters that have broken the MP limit, the more the better. I won't get anywhere near the 2000 cap, but how many do I have? 8. Okay, that's not too bad. It's an extra 300 MP. This is another reason why you should be using the standard sphere grid anyway, because you just got extra nodes to play with. I don't think it's going to get to the stage where we have to start like deleting nodes and all that kind of thing. I think just filling up the empties with HP, a bit of MP, and luck should be enough. But it might not be, we'll have to see. I'm going to break any lock nodes that I find at this point as well for extra space. Every little helps. One thing I'm actually considering at this point also is, I think Full Cure is the only major ability that we're missing. And now that we've got Break HP Limit, Full Cure could be a much more important ability than it was. It's one that I almost never used in vanilla, but it could be much more valuable now. So it's worth thinking about. I don't have the level 4 key spheres for it right now, but once I'm done with this little bit, I'll consider it. I mean, it still seems like we've got plenty of empty nodes to play with here. I'm thinking HP-wise, surely the maximum I could need is about 50. Because I can always double up during the battle anyway, so... I'm going to try and see if 30 is going to be enough for this Nemesis encounter, but maybe it won't be. We'll see. I'm just trying to make do with what I've gotten from like other battles at this point. I've literally not specifically farmed for HP spheres at all, I think. This is all just leftover from ribbon farming. So that's good. This is a kind of farming efficiency that I'd like to have in the mod. Like that's, as a player, that's what I like to see. Because yes, like I mentioned countless times, we've got to farm, but at least if we can make the process a bit more lucrative and efficient, I think that's definitely going to be welcomed by players. Okay. Final HP sphere for now. But I'm going to lay these MPs down. This will push us over 1000 MP. I don't think I've ever had a run where I've had over 1000 MP that I can recall. Because I've never bothered breaking the MP limit. It's so unnecessary in vanilla. I think that's one of the coolest things he's done. He's made MP so much more important than it ever was in vanilla. Because you just had so many ways to like 1 MP cost, or just use 3 stars in battle for 0 MP cost, and magic wasn't hugely relevant anyway, like at this stage of the game. So it was one of the most like controversial decisions I think of the mod, but ultimately I think it's a good one. Okay, there's not a lot of empty space left now at this particular part. Okay, can we find one more? That's not like a million miles away. I might just use a teleport sphere to get there. Yeah, and we can start laying down the next batch of spheres down here. Starting from, I guess, here. This should still have plenty of room. Okay. Yeah, 1100, that's pretty good. Now, just got to do the same with Wakka. So, now that I'm done with the sphere grid work, Titus has 1162 MP and 31,000 HP. Wakka doesn't have break MP limit, but same HP. And Lulu, because she has a higher base MP, she's almost up to 1,300. So that's what we're going to rock with for now. In terms of equipment, I'm going to go for the 2 break HP limits. This is not ideal. I'll probably have to change this for, like, thinking maybe replace... I'm trying to think, what would I replace with ribbon? It's obviously going to either be Auto Phoenix or break MP limit. I guess I don't need 3 auto phoenixes all at the same time, but we'll have to see. For Lulu, for now, I don't think I'm going to really need her. Keep that. And Rikku. So we'll go with the trusted trio for now. And we'll see how we fare. So let me save here. And let's get into it. So pretty good armors here, but not perfect. But at least we have 2 break HP limits. So I'm hoping that's going to be useful, at least. Okay. Let's get to it and have our first proper attempt against the superpowers. Of course, immediate worry is that Rikku is going to be dying a lot because of that attack for starters. Just thinking. I might start with... I think what Pbirdman did was... We don't have Hyper Mighty Guard anymore, but he had basically what you could mix to use to get Trio before ends up giving you this Mega Mighty G. So let's have a look at this. So this is like Hyper Mighty G basically. It's kind of replaced what you would have had for Trio. But the important thing to note here is that it gives you Reflect as well, actually. Sentinel. Why am I in Sentinel status? That's interesting. But yeah, we're going to roll with that. Let's get... Obviously I'm going to see how long I can survive. Everybody knows that Nemesis has the Armageddon attack, which kills everybody anyway. But until that attack comes, I obviously want to try to stay alive, at least with Tidus and Wakka, for as long as I can. I feel like the main trouble here is going to be healing because I don't have alchemy and I don't have trio. So we might struggle with that, but we'll see. So like now, I'm only going to be able to heal 5,000 HP at a time, which is not good. Yeah, that's kind of lame. So... Ooh. I've got to make sure I'm looking at the arrows properly here and the help text. Like Riku's name appears at the bottom, but she's in the middle. She looks like she's in the middle of the alignment here, so I could make mistakes. Okay. Let's go for our first quick hit here against this guy. 44,000. That's not a lot, is it? Damn. This is what I mean, I need to be near max HP to do a lot of damage, but... Gonna have to rely on Riku's healing here. Ultimate weapon shot? What the fuck? Wow, well we didn't see this when we were doing any of the stealing, it must be quite a rare move. So it uses ultimate Jack shot. It turns into ultimate weapon shot. Good grief. Does it hit everybody? Oh. Oh. Well, that ain't good. Okay, we'll just quietly flee from this one. I need to reload this save. I didn't realize it had the petrification. Sheesh. That's thrown a big spanner in the works now. So you've got to at the very least have stoneproof here, even if it's not ribbon. Because I can't afford to have that happening like half an hour into the battle. And well, the problem is Tidus is not protected against that either. Oh man. That move is nasty. I don't even know how common it is, but it's terrible. Well, I really can't be bothered to farm for 2 ribbon armors right now. Like I'm in the mood. I want to, like, you know, get battling, but Might have to have like a shitty... Put an auto-haste onto this or something. This is not good. I just simply can't afford to have two characters that don't have stoneproof. One, you could maybe risk it, but two is like impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but it's just stupid. I'm gonna stop recording here, and I'm literally gonna make myself. I'm gonna hack myself in a 4-slot armor instead of going to once and buying it, and I'm actually gonna hack in a sleep proof. I forgot what the latest was about sleeping powders. I did say to Pbirdman, you've got to give us a better way than like shitty wolf stealing that takes absolutely ages. So I'm just going to hack that in, and then I'm going to see what else I've got in terms of items to try and make something here. I'll have to go back in and steal a warp sphere and stuff as well. So I'm going to get back to this. I really can't bother to farm for like another hour to try and get another ribbon and break HP limit and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get back in a second. Okay, so a few minutes later I'm back. This is the thing that I made in Final Fantasy Editor just because I couldn't be bothered to farm the sleeping powders, and I don't remember what the latest was with that. I'm pretty sure there's going to be an easier way to do it in the public release, but I just don't remember what it is or if it's been implemented in this current patch. So we need this and we need this. I gave myself some warp spheres I couldn't bother to steal. You guys get the idea. So we've got that as well. Now... Wakka's got Auto Phoenix, so does Tidus. I'm wondering if any of these are going to save her, like Auto Protect and stuff. I don't feel like it would, but what are the states of it? I think Sleep was the only one I noticed. Sleep and Petrification were the main ones. There's Darkness and stuff, but I don't think that's that important. Maybe Curse Proof could be interesting for her, actually. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do that. Okay. So this is like my lazy Nemesis specific armor to see if it works. Gonna swap in Orin to make sure Rikku gets the first turn as well, and have my Phoenix Downs at the ready. Okay. So now I can save and give it another go. So we still have the fear of ultimate Jack Shot or whatever it was hitting Tidus, but I think only having one person breaking the HP limit probably is a bit too dangerous. I don't think it can be done. Well, to any reasonable degree anyway. Let me have just one attempt like this and we'll see how we do. Don't try this one at home, kids. Okay. So we'll start the same way we started last time, with... Now that Gambler Spirits are plentiful, this is really good. Okay. Get that stamina tonic. I'm gonna entrust. I want to get the 5x cheer and 5x focus on there pretty quick too. But the damage output is just really bad when you don't have. Tidus can quick hit at least. Yeah, look at that. I don't think you could use Ultra Spark on the first turn, right? Okay, let's go. Tidus, of course, does not have ribbon. Okay, we're pretty well defended against that now. That's good to see. Now we just need to start healing. Well, soon anyway. Wait a minute. Wakka doesn't have alchemy. Why did it heal that much again? Oh, is it because it's by percentage? Just trying to think now. If it heals like 50% of your max HP, then that's why it only worked 499 for Rikku, but it worked quad 9 for those two. I swear it wasn't like that previously. Has it always been like that? Let me see again. That's interesting. I could swear it wasn't like that previously. So now we have a much better shot at survival. Let's see how far we can get. 61,000. It's still not incredible, but it will do. Once Rikku starts getting regular turns, she'll be able to just keep the healing topped up until we see an Ultra Spark. Yeah. So how much damage is this going to do now? This is important. $20,000. Okay. And of course Riku's never going to be able to survive that one. And Wakka is the only one that's under curse, which is also not too bad. I can't remember that I've ever had two characters with curse proof in my party at the same time. It just almost never happens. Okay. Let's get going. I'm not going to try too hard to keep Rikku alive here. But we have a bit of a problem here. That critical was all well and good, but I think we've been power broken. Do we really want to dispel here? I think it's worth finding out how much damage this sort of stuff does. Ah, shit. That wasn't good. We need to get some of that damage back. I mean, fighting on while power broken is not that rocket punch. Oof. It's not that great. But we're doing nice damage to Nemesis once we can actually get there. I think once I take out Omega, then I feel like I've got a real shot. But I've got to stay alive until then. But since Riku's not power broken, she's doing some nice damage here. But we're going to find out what's what once we start getting Armageddon and those kind of moves. This is all easy enough for now. So I think it was Ultra Spark that gave me the power breaks. Oof. And I'm pretty sure you have to see 2 Ultra Sparks before you see an Armageddon. I might be misremembering that completely, but it seems to ring a bell. Yeah, I'm not liking this damage right now. Let's try a Dispel. Okay. I'm trying to remember, did we get hit with Nova when we fought it? originally? I think we did, right? So this is the baby version, then of course we've got Armageddon. Yeah, the more Ultra Sparks we see, the worse it's going to be. Yeesh. Ultra Spark's always been a horrid move. BC, auto-haste, of course. Imagine if you don't have auto-haste in this battle. It feels to me at this stage, auto-haste and break HP limit is pretty much a must. No two ways about it. I feel like Armageddon's coming fairly soon. And of course, because of auto-haste, you don't have to worry about Dispel taking away your haste either. So it's nice. I'm going to keep these overdrives for after Armageddon, when I'm revived, hopefully. But lots of healing water is going to be used here. One thing again I spoke to Pbirdman about was healing waters. I was like, stealing them from Adamantoids, it takes a long time if you need like 50, 60 plus at any one time. So maybe giving someone in the monster arena as like a rare steal, like 6 of them or something, would be nice to do. It'd be pretty beneficial, I think. Again, it's just one of those efficiency things that'll just save a little bit of frustration and shorten the preparation time. It's fine. Then we're getting some pretty solid damage in now. But at the moment the battle hinges on what happens after Armageddon, and also when is it going to use that Ject move, the ultimate Ject shot move again. The rest of its moves for now ain't so bad. But it likes picking on Rikku with that ethereal cannon. But yeah, you can see, like, without break HP limit, you're just dying all the time. So it's kind of nice that you pretty much have to use break HP limit. I mean, for all of the difficulties of vanilla and the Dark Aeons and how much HP they have and how powerful they are and all that stuff, the fact that you can defeat every single boss in the game without breaking the HP limit, I always thought was a bit like, you know, the game should have done better with that. They shouldn't have really allowed it to be that easy without breaking the HP limit. So the fact that in the Pbirdman mod we pretty much have to, I think is a good thing. There's all that extra HP. There's you know, break HP limit should be a very like high level, exclusive, important kind of ability, but in vanilla you just never really needed it other than bragging rights if you just wanted to look cool with your high HP. But it has real utility here, as you're seeing. You just would not be able to keep up if you didn't have break HP limit. But come on now, Armageddon is surely coming very soon. Nah, he's actually run out of... You never know, this attempt might be the one, so let's use them Mega Elixirs. I'm gonna auto life anyway, in case Rikku can absorb a hit once they're all revived. Might be worth it. There you go. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Pretty much one of the deadliest moves of the entire game. Oof, look at that. So, what is going to happen now? Okay, this can only kill Rikku, I think. Right, so now we basically start it all over again. And we go another round. So we need to get back on our feet as quickly as possible. I mean, can Ultra Spark be the next turn? I think just in case, let me use another healing water here. I'm pretty certain it won't, but... Ooh. So yeah, this is the most dangerous part of the battle for sure. It just depends on what moves get used here. Nova and Ultra Spark back to back is over 30,000 damage. Poor Rikku. Punch. Okay. That wasn't so bad. But Ultra Spark is surely coming soon, so I've got to be careful. Rocket Punch is obviously a quick move, as the name would suggest, so its next turn is coming pretty fast. Got to be ready for it. Don't want to flee just yet. Okay. Gonna entrust. I want to get that Hyper Null once again. Oof. That one always seems to go critical. Ah, here we go. Oh no. Well, it shows Tidus in this particular part of the animation, but I don't think it specifically means it's him. Come on, it's only a 1 in 3 chance. I mean, I feel like having 2 characters without break HP limit is just too risky. Every time there's an Ultra Spark, it's just going to be horrible. Okay, it's Wakka. That's not so bad. I think it is 75,000. Unless I saw it wrong. I think I'm still going to Hyper Null. But again, those turns are coming thick and fast. Yeah, turns are just coming so quick. Yeah, Wakka not having a good time of it here. Did well to survive that. Okay. Yeah, since Armageddon happened, we've been struggling to get a foothold here. Okay, I'm going to get back to it here. Need to make more progress. Especially before Ultra Spark comes. Ultra Spark could be the next turn. So we've got to move. There you go. That's some real damage right there. Gonna quick pockets this. Yeah. While everyone can hit big, let's hit big. I feel like Ultra Spark could be coming next. Just trying to think, if it uses Nova... Yeah. Just to be safe. Okay, that's not so bad. Yeah. This arsehole. I've always hated this move. It's got to be one of the worst, like, regular moves that's used. Because of the fact that it just hits everyone and it's always... There's no way to bring it down below pod 9 HP. I'm pretty sure that's the case, but... Okay. But we're still doing okay here. Not going to Stamina Tonic Wakka for now. The best thing about this situation for Rikku is that she's not being hit with Power Break. Okay. Here we go. I mean, it feels like it's going well, but we haven't even defeated Omega yet. We've basically made no impact into Nemesis' 10 million HP, so we've still got a long way to go here. Oh no. And again, depends how many more of these we've got to face. I think despite how well things are going, Tice is going to get shattered and ejected from the battle, and that's basically going to end things here. I feel like I have to take the risk and use the Sanctuary for him. Okay, it's Rikku this time. I got lucky again. Right. First of all, I'm gonna do this so I can get auto life back on everybody. Only having one person with auto life is not enough. So let's do this. Look at Titus there with his maximum HP. Nice. Because of that auto protect, despite everything that I have, it's still 84,000 even at maximum HP. There's Armageddon, so this was good timing once again. I feel like if it's 2-on-1, I might have a shot, like, but I just got to get a Mega Weapon taken out ASAP. So like if a Nova gets used here, then I won't have a chance of doing anything, and it won't be my fault. There's nothing you can do against that. Yeah, you see, trouble here is that Rikku's not going to get a turn for a while. In case I need to come in with some clutch auto life in here, just gonna do a bit of that. I think just to cover my arse. Pretty certain it shouldn't be Ultra Spark. Oof. Yeah, so if Rikku can't get that overdrive in, then you're in trouble. So we're hanging on at the moment. I'm thinking that Pbirdman has probably synced things up in a way that they can't use like Armageddon and then Nova straight afterwards. I think, but I'm not sure. Okay. Let's try and push that HP back up because I don't have Rikku's buffs right now. I'm going to take a lot of damage from Ultra Spark. So let's be ready for it. Let's go for it. Just don't hit Rikku. Okay. Magic counter, very nice. Right. Probably in trust on the next turn. Oh, come on, really? Double Nova? Sheesh. But really burning through those healing waters here. Okay, let's keep going. Surely there's not too much left now for Omega. There we go. Okay, excellent. Now I'm in with a real shot, I think. It just depends how we do with the ultimate jet shot thingy. Now it's just a small matter of taking out 10 million HP. But he doesn't have auto protect, so we might have a shot at this. Okay. Let's get them buffs back. The only thing is I wonder when that ultimate count is going to come. Is it only for steals that it does it, or is it just after a certain number of attacks? Or like a certain percentage chance after an attack? I don't know. We shall see very soon. Let's go for it. 46,000. So you heard the sound there, that's that whole armor thing that I was talking about. So Kimahri would be able to do maximum damage to Nemesis and is probably the only character that can do so. So this is going to be nasty. Yeah, so I think after like every 4 attacks or 5 attacks or something, seems to want to use Ultima. And if it has 10 million HP, this is going to be... It's going to be a journey. In terms of like endurance, it's going to feel much more like Penance now. Because like it did have 10 million, but because of Wakka's ability to just like absolutely obliterate it using attack reels, it never used to take that long. you could reasonably win in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, so we've got a window here to get some real damage in, but it's only 31,000. So I think what's interesting about the way he's modded this one is, of course, there's a lot of dangers that you need a lot of very specific armor abilities to take it on, but he's not kind of inflicting like mental break and armor break and all that kind of stuff. He's finding ways to make it more difficult for you to do damage, which is definitely interesting. Speaking of, yeah, these idiots have power break, that's why they're doing less damage. I was going to say I swear they were doing more damage at the start of the battle, and that would be why. There we go. Right. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's what I was looking for. But yeah, this regular ultimate counterattack is gonna be... it's gonna make it a long day. Million HP, and we're going to of course get constantly ultra sparked as well. Yeah, so I mean now we've got to waste turns on the whole like dispel thing again. Okay. Okay. Just there, ready for the next post-Armageddon situation. $81,000 is not bad at all. I am going to unleash an attack reels, I think, here. So let's go for a quick hit and then an attack reels. For reals. Our first one. Wow, in my defense, the game is 8% quicker. So I felt like I was going to miss that, actually. It does make a difference. I'm sure you would have noticed that those scroll down more quickly than the previous episodes. So, about 370,000 damage. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay. We've got plenty of turns here. Again, I'm just going to go for it, and I'll probably use auto life on Rikku, because I think the next turn is Armageddon. Okay, let's keep going. I think we made a pretty good effort at this so far. Oh no, does this take out Rikku? That's not good if it does. Don't do it! Ah, shit. I got a bit carried away. But that's alright. Surely now it's going to be Armageddon. No, okay. Well, this is actually even worse. I'm gonna have to use that Rikku overdrive. This played out really badly. Does auto-haste allow me to get a turn in here? It does, okay. Well, that's a reprieve. I'm going to entrust in case we need to do this again. I'm going to be a bit more on the defensive here. Okay. I feel like surely it's next. I mean, come on. No? Okay. Oof. Well defended. I am curious to see how much Blitz Ace does, but I'd rather just let Wakka do the job. I know that his one does more damage, I'm pretty certain. The only thing is just making sure I hit the reels. It's definitely not easy with the speed up. My eyes are not used to it. I feel like 70% confident that I can nail it compared to like the 99% of normal. But it's going to use Ultima again, isn't it? It's not. Okay, good. There it is. The only thing worth considering here is the battle is so long that what if we run out of healing? What if we run out of healing waters? Then we're kind of screwed. So again, it can't use Ultra Spark on the first turn, I'm pretty certain of that, so we should be okay. There it is. Straight back in with a bit of that. Okay. It's interesting, like after you use it, it showed the Sentinel status beforehand, that they're in Sentinel status for like the turn afterwards. It really is like a super... It's an even better version of Hyper Mighty G, which is interesting. I didn't think Pbirdman would give us that. Interesting indeed. But I'm sure it's going to have its specific uses as well. Where like you have to be in Sentinel for a certain move or something, I don't know. Oh man. Okay. Just wondering if there's any point going above, like doubling up on HP at the moment. I don't think so. As long as I can survive Ultra Spark, which I'm pretty certain I can now. I have Auto Life just in case I fail here, but I'm pretty sure it's a non-factor. well, yeah, you definitely need like focus, I think it is, to ensure that you survive it with the HP that I have. It's extremely tight, as you just saw. It's literally random variance that saved me. I had the auto lives, but it would have been messy. So I think I'm going to throw a couple of focuses in here. And how are we doing? Healing water. We're down to 44 and I don't think we've done half damage, so we've got to be careful here. We can't take this too slowly. Oof. And that does not help either. That really does not help. I have to start using Kieron R and shit. Gonna have to start like quick pocketsing X potions and stuff. Oh no. It's your boy. I mean, this time it would only be fair if Tidus got hit and was shattered out of the game. I'd be lucky if that didn't happen. And then I'd probably have to call it quits for this session and come back with another armor. Okay. I was fortunate. But I don't know how long I can ride my luck on that. Okay. I've really got to I've got to go. I need to be doing like 1,000,000 damage for every 10 healing waters, but I'm gonna quick pockets another Mega Elixir. I will use like all remaining Mega Elixirs pretty much at this stage. Yeah, he doesn't have 5 times focus anymore, so if Ultra Spark comes now, he's kind of screwed, but okay, you can survive that. But she cannot. Okay. I'm just worried about the ultimate counter here. I don't want Rikku getting taken out. Okay. That's some better damage right there. We're still hanging in there. I think until something happens to Tidus, we've got a shot here. So I think Tidus is the one that has like 3 or 4 focuses and Wakka does not. It's so tight. Oof. Okay. Just thinking how soon is Armageddon gonna come? I just don't want to. I don't want to waste too many more healing waters at this stage. Might be worth seeing how much we can get back using Drain. We almost never use this. 12,000. Not bad. I mean, it is worth considering, especially if you've got a double cast here. But it's a very slow move to do so. I feel like I should probably resort to that stuff later, like right at the end. Yeah, this HP replenishment is definitely not easy. Okay. Right, let's get back at it. Purge. Yeesh. He's already out of MP. There. Bad. Bad timing. Should be able to survive this. Should be half damage, right? Was not. But good enough. Oh yeah, we used Dispel. That's why. Again, we've got to be close to Armageddon now, surely. For that reason, I'm not gonna use any more healing waters. The only thing is, if there was another Ultra Spark, I'd get unstuck here, but I'm just going to take the risk and hope that it's not Ultra Spark. Any move other than Ultra Spark works for me here. Okay. So trying to be a bit more efficient with them healing waters. It's not working too bad so far. Go. Only thing is, Riku's overdrive didn't charge fully. Would have been nice if it did. I'm gonna try something a bit different here, actually. Let's get the stamina tonic. There's a Rikku mix that heals everyone for their maximum HP. I might just use that. Can pretty much use a Mega Elixir after every Armageddon, I think. Oh, really? I swear that wasn't how his AI worked. That's balls. I really wasn't expecting that. That's a shitty way to end the battle. Level 4 Key Sphere, 3 Dark Matter, 5. Genji Shield. Ooh. Ooh. How Genji is this shield? Break HP. 3 slots? Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, well, I mean, I guess I was doing okay. I was doing fine. I'm thinking maybe I should make like a break HP limit for Rikku as well. Because it's not that difficult. I mean, it literally would take me like 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, I think, to be able to do it. And getting auto-haste is not all that difficult. And I guess I could give her, again, a stone proof as well. And I think manage with that. So I think when I come back for the next session to give this thing another go, I think I will go for 3 break HP limits. And probably farm for like a little bit more, because this number here, these numbers here, the 31,000, it's so close to the edge. You saw like with random variants you can die when you're dealing with Ultra Spark. So I think I'm going to leave it here. Next session I'll be back with a break HP limit for Rikku and probably like an extra maybe 10-15 HP spheres, so I can get up to about 40,000 tops, and then I should be able to defeat Nemesis in the next one. And then we will start to think about the Dark Aeons and what we need to do for luck and all of that sort of stuff. So we're close, we're nearly there, but there is a little bit more work left to do because Nemesis is obviously no joke, and when you have like the ultimate jet shot thing, which requires stone proof as an absolute must, but you need break HP limit at the same time, and all this kind of stuff, you need a pretty specific setup to make sure you can make it through. So I'll be back very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.